Good morning, first graders. Welcome back to reading class with Miss Six. This whole week we're going to be discussing fables. Everyone say fables. That's a fun word to say. So we're going to be talking about what are the characteristics, what makes a story a fable. Because we've read lots of different stories, but how do I know if a certain story is a fable? First, we need to know that these stories are going to be fiction. Fiction means the story is pretend. It's just made up. So these stories are usually going to be to entertain us. Next, we know that there are fairy tales. We talked about that last week. Fairy tales are also fiction, and they usually have magic. They usually say, once upon a time. The characters can be animals or people. So we read The Gingerbread Man. The character was a cookie. And there was lots of magic in that story. That was a fairy tale. Fables are going to be similar. They are also fiction, but these are going to be stories that teach a lesson. Characters are usually just animals who act like people. Fables teach the lesson usually at the end of the story. And this lesson is called a moral, the moral of the story. So we have read some books that are fables, and I didn't tell y'all. We read Little Red Riding Hood, The Three Little Pigs, and Little Red Hen. These stories are all fables. Now, these are examples of fables because the characters are animals, and we can also see that they are short stories, and they teach an important lesson at the end. That is called a moral. So let's see, what was the lesson of Little Red Riding Hood? We could see the lesson of the story was don't talk to strangers. The big bad wolf. And in Little Red Hen, the moral was to work hard and don't be lazy so that you can get the rewards of working. So in a fable, the main character has a problem and must find a way to solve the problem. And here I can show you that the character is going to be thinking in the story of how they can solve their problem. So if I'm reading a story, how do I know if it's a fable? First of all, it's going to be a short story, and it's going to have characters that are animals, and it's going to have a moral or a lesson. You're going to have to see if you can figure out what the moral is. What does the story try to teach me? So in Little Red Riding Hood, there were some animal characters that acted like humans. We're also going to look at the characters' feelings and actions. So whether a character is sad, happy, when those emotions start, and what do they do to try to solve their problem can help us see what the moral is at the end of the story. So let's try one together. I have a read aloud, and I want you to try to see if this is a fable or not. The Goose and the Golden Egg. Now, a goose is kind of like a bird, and they usually stay in the lake. They also do lay eggs, so I'm thinking that the goose is going to lay a golden egg. Long ago, there was a poor man who owned a small farm. He had just one animal, a goose. So I'm having some animals, but we're going to see if this animal acts like a human. The farmer visited the goose one day and found something wonderful. The goose had laid a shiny golden egg. "My sweet goose, may I have your golden egg?" the farmer asked kindly. Now, do you talk to a goose and the goose talks back in real life? No. "What's mine is yours," the goose said with a warm smile. The goose can talk. The farmer collected the egg and took it to the market to sell. He was able to feed his family for a whole week with that money. Each day, the goose would lay a new golden egg and happily give the egg to the farmer. But the farmer began to think, there are so many things to buy. Why can't I buy them faster? One golden egg a day is not enough, he shouted at the goose. I need to sell more, more, more. Tomorrow I want to see 2 golden eggs. No, 3 eggs. No, 4. The goose looked at him with tears in her eyes. We can see her emotions. She's sad. But he did not find 4 golden eggs the next day, or 3, or 2, or even 1. He found nothing. The goose was gone, and the farmer would never hold a golden egg again. Whoa, that story was so crazy. So if we're looking at the story, we already checked off, yes, the goose acted like a human. The goose was able to talk back to the farmer. Is the story short? Yes, the story is also short. So those are 2 things that a fable needs. The last thing is we need the story to teach us a lesson. So I want you to think, the farmer, what happened in the whole story? First, the farmer was surprised. His goose laid a golden egg and he was able to keep it. What did he do with the eggs that she laid? Every day she gave him a golden egg. And what did he do? He took the egg to go and buy food. Then things started to change. The farmer changed and said that he wanted more. Oh no. I wonder if that's a good thing. What is that called when you just keep wanting more and more? That's called being greedy. You're not happy with what you have right now. And then, what do you know? He ended up with nothing. So I think the moral of the story, the lesson is be happy with what you have. One day you may not have that same thing that you want. And that story can help teach us in our own lives too. So after we looked at that story, I wonder if you think it was a fable. We checked off a lot of boxes, so I think it's a fable. And now on your own, you're going to read The Ant and the Grasshopper. And we can see there's an ant and a grasshopper on the cover. And you're going to try to see if this story is a fable or not. So your assignment is going to be on Google Classroom in this Google form. And then the rest of this week, we're going to have more assignments about fables. And I hope to see you very soon. Have a great day, guys. Bye.